Hey there, folks. I'm Isaac.
And I'm Claire, and I haven't played a video game all week.
Oh, no. And this is...
Make that game. Where we pitch the latest.
The greatest.
New video game ideas.
That aren't going to get made. We don't make them, folks.
No, but we do pitch them to each other, and then talk
and
about
to you.
Yeah.
The listener.
And then we talk about stuff, and then we pitch even more games. That's what's going to happen in the next.
Yeah, there's a lot of pitching. Might as well call us a baseball podcast.
I thought you were going to say baseball team, and I was going to be like, the pitcher's the only one.
Yeah.
It's only
We're
one
not
guy.
quite a full team, but well, you know, we could be the first
all pitcher team
tandem pitchers.
Oh,
where we both hold on to the ball and pitch them.
That sounds
throw it
terrible, especially because you have much longer arms than me.
We'd have to practice a lot to make it work, but it sounds like something like a baseball anime would do as like a special attack.
I'm learning a lot about anime because I'm watching One Piece.
The live action.
And the anime. Sometimes.
Some episodes. We're not like watching full episodes through. Well, we did watch full episodes.
Yeah, we watched
through.
like 3 or 4 full episodes.
Yeah, but not like in order.
Right.
Just relevant to the live action ones.
Right.
But that's neither here nor there. We're here to have ideas pitched back and forth. And I've got an idea that I'm going to pitch to you, and you're going to give me $1 million for it.
I don't have $1 million. I spent it all at Spirit Halloween.
It is the season. It is a season. All right, well, that's fine because I don't
Okay.
actually have a game idea worth $1 million. What
Oh,
I
okay.
have is a mini game idea at most. I don't see how I could stretch this out into a full featured game. So like this is like a little side game about juggling.
Oh, boy.
So it specifically has to be played on a controller
Okay.
because each stick, because modern controllers, they have the left stick and the right stick like that you can rotate around. That controls where your hands move, and each one is a different hand. So you've got your left hand and your right hand. And then you use the shoulder buttons, which are a common feature on all controllers that I know of, to actually grab and release the balls.
Okay.
Or items that you're juggling.
This is very relevant to our conversation about the like haptic response.
Yeah, the tactile.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like it really, the idea is to really get you into feeling like you're juggling, and by like having to spin the separate controllers, each with a different hand. So like each of your hands are engaging just like they would be in juggling. And yeah, you're just tossing balls back and forth. Well, not back and forth, but like one hand to the other, tossing it up, catching with the other hand.
That's only one way to juggle.
What?
Yeah,
okay,
that's
maybe we
circle
can
juggling.
do a full game. Okay, well.
Circle juggling is probably the most basic. Like when you're doing like 3-ball juggling,
Yeah.
what you're doing is you're throwing them up and catching them in the other hand. So it's not, so going around in a circle is what you're describing, where you grab a ball, toss it to one hand, toss it up, catch like that. That creates like a loop. But like true juggling is when you toss it up and you catch it and they're crossing each other constantly.
Oh.
You didn't know. I guess I got to surprise you with some juggling knowledge I've been keeping right in the noggin
Wow.
for many years. I used to be a juggler.
Okay, so juggling.
I wish we had anything spherical down here so I could demonstrate. I mean, I guess it would be nothing for a podcast, but at least you could see.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd just be like, oh, folks, she's throwing the ball up and she's catching it with the other hand. And right as she threw the other ball,
Yeah.
Very engaging stuff. Actually, I could do that. And
no one would know if I'm doing it or not.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I don't actually. Maybe the way I'm describing it's easier. I don't know because I haven't tried the circle method, but I always like the look of the basic juggling better.
I've only ever tried the circle method because that's the only method I've ever known about.
Because you're saying
and it's
you're saying
hard.
like you do like this and then up and around.
Yeah.
Yeah. That might be harder actually. The one I'm doing is like it's basically just like doing this, but with 3 balls at the same time.
Yeah. What she's doing is she's tossing her phone from one hand to the other back and forth. And it's not super impressive when you've only got one item.
It's not. And that's why I'm saying that. But I'm like looking around the room desperately for like 3 somewhat spherical objects and I'm seeing nothing.
Pick up some of my Warhams figures and just start tossing those around.
No.
So, to get back to like what makes it more of a game. So the mini game, you start with one ball, and I guess you can either circle, juggle. Since you have full control of the hands and the catching and
I think
releasing,
you can get
you
fancy.
could do either of those techniques, or if there's other techniques, you probably could do that.
I think there should be a choice. Like you also do the single hand. You can do.
What's the single hand? That's not much of a juggle, is it?
Well, it's like you have two and you like trade them off. But usually they'll have like both going at once, and then sometimes they'll use these to like throw more into their other hand. Or, like if there's like two people and they can like toss it back and forth.
Yeah. Okay. So the idea is just how long can you last? Like it starts with one ball, and then it throws a second ball, and then a third ball, and fourth ball,
which is
until
truly
you
just
you
juggling,
fail.
right? Like that's
Yes. And then maybe if the circle style is harder, maybe it's programmed in such a way that it can like recognize what style you're using, depending on how like the balls move and how you catch stuff. And maybe that's a score multiplier. So if you're trying a harder technique, it's more forgiving.
Yeah.
As far as points go, and then high score wins.
So this is reminding me. This took me way back to a game in Wii. I believe it was Wii Fit. It was one of the balance games.
Okay.
So what you had to do is stand on the balance board and like move your feet like this to stay on top of a ball. That was.
She was shifting her feet back and forth.
Isaac's getting all the good visual description.
Yeah.
Just like almost like walking in place kind of was the motion.
Okay.
And then to stay on top of a big rolling ball that you were balanced on. And then you had to move your Wiimotes like in your hands, like up and down as if you were throwing balls. And you would have to do that. And then they would keep adding. Like they would add them.
Okay.
And the goal was to see how long and how many you could juggle.
While also maintaining your balance on a ball.
Yeah.
Wow. That's incredible.
That's Wii Fit for you.
I wish I got involved in that. That sounds like a lifestyle I want to join.
I loved Wii Fit so much.
Yeah, wow.
The balance games were so fun, and I feel like people don't talk about them because they're not really like. Balance is fitness, but I would just play the balance games and
just for fun.
Yeah, like
I
think the ski jump one was a balance game technically. Because you had to be like exactly in the center of the board, and you like bend your knees, and then it would count down, and then you had to stand up really fast at the right time, like, and then you would fly through the air.
Okay, that sounds intense.
Yeah, it was. It was good.
I thought Wii Fit was all just like stepping up and off, like onto and off of the balance board, and like.
That is only
curls.
One mini game in the entire Wii Fit universe.
So they have a whole bunch of stuff. All right, well, hey, we're all learning. We're all looning something today.
We are looning today. We can also, we should play it next time we go to my parents' house. We should. Because they still have it all set up.
Well, it's already set up. I was gonna say, text your mom ahead of time. Hey, can you set up the Wii U?
Oh no,
Isaac
I think
and I are coming over.
Oh, we don't have a Wii U. Are you kidding? It's Wii original.
Sorry, you're okay. Wii O.
0.0. Yeah. No, I think they still actively use the Wii Fit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't even.
Anyway, sorry. That was so that's your juggling game, do you?
Yeah. That I've said everything. That
was
needs
a really
to be
big
said.
tangent. I apologize.
No, but it was good because now the banter. Yeah. That's what they're really here for.
I hope so. And it was about video games, so it was on topic.
Yeah. Exactly. And we touched on that tactile point that we had before, and I don't know. It was good.
Okay, good.
Do you have a game to pitch to me?
So sort of, but it's very rough. I feel like
are we gonna live workshop?
We can, or it might just be little enough that you say, "Yep, that would be a game, wouldn't it?"
Okay, yeah.
It's kind of just like if Sticky Business, which is the game where you make stickers and sell them.
Okay.
We're actually about cereal.
Okay, so a cereal salesman.
Well, not just
cereal sales game.
The idea is you get to create your own cereal. So you get to pick like the shape of the cereal and the color,
marshmallows.
And if you want marshmallows, and then what kind of marshmallows you want, and you can pick like the flavors, and then you get to name it and design the box.
Okay.
And then you sell it.
Okay. This is huge. This is Cereal Tycoon.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's kind of like a cozy game, but also an entrepreneurial game.
Yeah.
You can make a cereal empire.
Which is what I've always wanted to do. And Oh man.
And this idea just came because Isaac has started eating Reese's Puffs.
Is it Reese's or Reese's? Let's have that debate now. No one who says Reese's is correct.
What? I always say Reese's.
But like, you've seen commercials for Reese's Puffs. Reese's Puffs. They don't say Reese's Puffs.
The only time I've ever heard that song is from your mouth.
Really?
Really? Like I thought that was like a internet meme that you just repeated a lot.
No, they had a rap song about Reese's Puffs.
Not for me. They didn't. The only Reese's commercials I can remember are the ones that don't even have dialogue. They just have like big cool text and it's like Reese's.
Okay. Well,
it's like undress your candy, Reese's.
Undress?
I don't know. They had ones that were like vaguely sexual.
What? On my candy commercial, and it's not even about the M&Ms. M&Ms I get.
I remember when I was in high school because I really liked. I mean, I still like Reese's, but I printed out stills of some of the Reese's commercials and I put them in my binders.
Wow. You're a real Reese's fan. Wow. All right. Well, okay.
Anyway, but yeah. So Isaac's been eating Reese's Puffs, and I was like, cereal. We haven't had cereal in the house that we're eating in a long time.
Now, would this be like an artisanal cereal, kind of like you sell it from a little shop kind of thing, ship it out, or would it be your mass marketing, sending it out to supermarkets and stuff? Like, would it have a logistical aspect that Sticky Business doesn't necessarily have? Folks, I have just been shown, can you show that to me again? An ad from Reese's. It says, women like to make it last. And it shows a picture of a Reese's cup.
I should probably verify that this is like actually
that had 3 bites taken out of it.
Sorry, we're on. This is actually a tangent, but I was just trying to see like.
Are there any Reese's video games? I'm gonna search that real quick. Let's see if we can bring this tangent around to relevancy.
I bet there is.
I bet there's at least one for like the Super Nintendo. I mean, there's the freaking Cool Spot game with the 7-Up. Reese's Witherspoon. That is not what I meant to search.
Wait, 7-Up? A Reese's game?
80s? No. There was like a 7-Up video game where like the little red spot like logo mascot was the character. I think that was 7-Up.
See, when you said 7-Up, I thought about Heads Up 7-Up, which is a game you play when your teacher runs out of time and needs to kill like 10 minutes in class.
So there is a vintage 80s Reese's peanut butter cup commercial, which looks like Pac-Man, but like
that's not a Reese's
it doesn't seem like they actually
game.
have like a video game. All right, so yep, that's what's the name? Cereal Tycoon.
Oh yeah, sorry. I wanted to say that it is going to be like mass producing. You'll be like the next. Like the goal is to be the next General Mills.
Like there could be an aspect where you're like buying factory space and maybe like designing factory layout.
That could be fun. Yeah, that adds some depth to this.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for.
So I think in that case, if you can like usurp factories and like create layouts and like all this stuff, I think just calling it Cereal Tycoon might be fine. Might be good.
Yeah. All right. Boom. Cereal Tycoon. That's Tycoon. $1 million game.
Okay. You have $1 million for me?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I'm handing her an empty hand, but I'm describing it as $1 million, and therefore the listeners will think that to be the truth.
If you had $1 million to give me, that'd be wild.
Yeah. Simply put, yes.
If you revealed that you had that on this podcast, that would be.
Yeah, by the way, folks, I am a millionaire.
You've been a secret millionaire this whole time.
Yep. I've just been every reader email, I've just secretly sent them $1 million to buy their game idea.
I don't think you can say that for real. We cannot.
That is parody. That is satire. That
we
is a
do
joke.
Not guarantee any kind of anything if you email us, except for maybe we'll read it on the show.
We don't even imply anything, let alone guarantee.
Right. Anyway, well, those are the games we pitched, and also the candy we eat.
Yeah.
Which, again, is what you're here for. But another thing you're here for is for some game design deep dives.
Yeah, GDDD.
And I have one that apparently has been making the rounds on TikTok.
Oh, a TikTok question.
Kind of. Well, it comes from that and Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh.
And the topic of today's discussion is going to be save scumming.
Oh, all right. Okay. This is an interesting topic. How many hours do we have? Do you think a listener will stick around? Because I have thoughts.
Oh, wow. Okay, good. Well,
I actually have thoughts like stemming from Disco Elysium specifically.
Oh, yes.
Because
you
that
did talk
game
about that game.
I
this
had
very podcast.
thoughts. Oh boy, and nobody agrees with me on them. But
all right. Well, before we start, I'm very excited to hear those thoughts. Can you describe to our listeners what save scumming is, if they don't know?
Okay, so save scumming is you're playing a game. There is an important part coming up that maybe has a random chance of something happening, right? So you save the game. You play the scene or open the treasure chest or whatever. You see what's in the treasure chest. You fight the enemy. You get their loot drop, whatever. You perform the role in the game if it's like Baldur's Gate and has like dice rolling aspects.
You do the random.
You do the random. You get the result. If you don't like the result, you load your game again. And then you try it again, and you just keep doing that to get the result that you want. The legendary rare item, the pass a test that's a dice roll. So like, oh, I need a natural 20 to succeed this because my skill is so low, but I want this to happen. So I'm just going to perpetually save and reload. Or turn-based strategy games often have like a hit chance. So, I have a 90% chance of hitting this target, or a 9% chance of hitting this target. So I'm just going to keep reloading until I hit the target and win the level, and like that I'm like under-leveled for or whatever. So that's the basic idea of save scumming. Saving the game and then reloading from the point that you saved until you get a specific result that you want.
Okay. I actually was a save scummer, it turns out, my whole life.
What?
But I didn't even know the word for it.
Oh no. In Sims?
Correct.
Oh, what random events do Sims have?
A lot. So in Sims 1, there's an item that is a genie lamp, and you can rev the genie lamp and get surprise items, but you can also flood your house or light your house on fire.
Oh, okay.
So before you would do it, you would save the game, and then that way, if you light your house on fire, you can go back and reload and try it again and try to get this fancy item.
Okay. No, yeah.
Also, like, if you would try, so like, I had a lot of cheat codes going in The Sims, and this is for all the Sims games, but specifically Sims 2 for like relationship building. Like if you really wanted a Sim to marry another Sim, but like you weren't sure if their relationship status was high enough, you'd save the game before you propose, because if you propose and they reject you, then you basically break up.
Oh, okay.
So like you want to go back to that pre-proposal stage,
okay,
knowing that, hey, I have to work harder on this relationship.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of things. If if you wanted to try something weird, like The Sims has so many weird things, right? So like maybe I want to kill a Sim so that the Grim Reaper will visit, and then I can like try to fight the Grim Reaper, I probably want to save before that, because if I can't win against the Grim Reaper, then I lose my Sim.
Yep. Okay.
So yeah, this has been something I've been basically trained to do my whole life. Didn't even know it was a thing or a debate until I saw a TikTok about it a couple days ago.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start off the discussion by saying it's a video game. They're meant to be fun, and if you're not having fun not save scumming, or you're not having fun with save scumming,
just play the way you want to play.
Just play the way that you want to play.
That's fine. Wait, real quick. I just thought of another one of my friends that I used to do is right before a baby is born, if we wanted it to be a specific gender or if we wanted twins.
Oh, you would save and then reload until you got...
Yeah, because the babies were randomized. So we would sometimes do that too.
Wow.
Anyway, just wanted to just remembered that. Just brought that back to my brain. But yeah. So yes, play the way that you ultimately want to play, but I will say there are ways that game designers can design their game to push you one way or the other, or disable one path. Usually they disable, like they make save scumming either difficult or impossible. Going back to the turn-based strategy game idea where like there's hit chances and stuff,
sometimes to stop people from save scumming, they will save like the seed of the random number generator, because this might be an entirely different topic, but quick review. It's very difficult, if not impossible, for computers to truly randomly generate a number. So they do a basically mathematical equation when they need to generate a random number that gives a sufficiently random number based on the seed value. So you input a seed, and different games do it in different ways.
Can you describe what a seed is? Because like I've heard this word in speedrun lingo, but honestly, I've never actually asked, and I don't understand what that means.
So the seed is just the basic, the starting number of a random number generator. So at a very basic level, random number generator, like let's say you want to generate a number between 1 and 100. The equation is going to be like the seed number plus something modulo 100. So that is how you get the number between 1 and 100. And then the next time it needs to generate a random number, it will use the number it just generated as the new seed number. When people are talking about the seed numbers, they're effectively talking about the first number that starts the sequence.
Okay.
And then that way, if you know what the seed number is and you know what the generator is, you can like figure out every single number that is ever going to be generated in the entire sequence.
And that's how speedrunners sometimes do it.
Yes. So like you'll often hear this in speedrunning, like Pokemon games. I'm pretty sure the seed for the random number generator was set by how long it took you to press the start button when the game first loaded.
Oh, jeez.
So like people will count like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi now, and now they know like I'm going to meet this Pokemon here, I'm going to meet this Pokemon here. It's going to have these stats, like everything that random number generator applies to. You can know throughout the entire game.
Wow.
And then if a game has like a randomly generated map and they let you put in like a seed, Terraria does this. Like you can put in a certain value and you'll always get the same map, even though it's randomly generated.
That seems illegal, but okay.
Well,
is that like a mod, or is that just in the game? You can just be like...
It's in the game. Like when it's generating a world, it gives you the option of putting in a seed if you want.
Huh. Okay.
And then it always generates the same thing. So you have the same start point. A lot of randomized things with like tournaments, like if you were doing a speedrun Terraria race, you would most likely have both people do the same seed so that they would have the same world and obstacles.
I think we've got seeds down. I think that's probably enough.
All right. So like a turn-based battle game, if they wanted to stop save scumming, they would just have the seed generated when the battle begins so that you could not save scum any individual like attack.
Okay, yeah. So you could go back to the beginning of the battle if you didn't like what was going on, but you couldn't like... go back in the middle of the battle and be like, this attack was bad, I'm going to do it again.
Yeah, and like if you don't do that kind of protection in your game that like has these random chances and like turn-based combat and stuff, and you have the ability to save in the middle of a battle, if somebody wants to, they can do a battle in such a way with enough save scumming where they never take a hit and they hit 100% of the time, and there's no difficulty, but also play how you want. Like
but I feel like that's kind of bad game design at that point. Like
a little bit.
I think it's fair to let people restart a battle that went super bad for them, but I don't know about
every individual attack.
Right, because then it's like, okay, I mean, again, play however you like, but it is a little bit like, is that even fun to know exactly what each attack is going to do?
Right. The other thing to do is just make it so that you can't save during a battle at all.
Well, a lot of games do that.
Yeah, that actually probably at this point is more likely than just setting a seed at the beginning. So, yeah, that's one way to stop save scumming. It can't apply to every game. And then a flaw, I think, I don't know if it's a flaw, with Disco Elysium, I was playing with it, is... Some people said, save scum all you want. It doesn't matter. Just get the results you want. Some people said, don't save scum. Stick with the failure. And I want to say that the game really intended you to like stick with the failures, except for like the colossal game ending failures. I think that's what it wanted you to do, but it also made absolutely no effort to stop you from save scumming. And it did get to a point where I was so frustrated with random rolls in that game where I would have super high skills and super high equipment.
Oh, yeah, I remember your honk and bonk.
Yeah, it would basically be like guaranteed, except for if I critically fail.
Mm-hmm.
And if I failed on those results, I would just be like, okay, I'm going to reload and, oh, there we go. We got the real result. Wow, I succeeded. Just because the things that I would fail on, like I would succeed like negligible, like low impact things all the time. But then like events that I super cared about, I would fail. And it's like, excuse me, what? Like the things that I'm like emotionally bonding to in this game, like that I have like vested interest in the outcome, like, oh, if I fail this character that I really like dies. That's not cool to gate behind a critical failure. And then I don't want to live in the world where like my favorite character is no longer in this game. Like, well, what are you doing?
What you're talking about now kind of makes me think a lot about Dungeons and Dragons and how like a DM who's kind of like the game designer often will, like, not often, but sometimes there's cases in which for the story and for the fun of the player, you fudge a roll.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like logically through the story and also because we want people to have fun, you might, for a roll that's behind the curtain, that's behind the screen, you might say, oh, yeah, that hit. Or like, you know, maybe you'll soften the damage of something a little or so, you know, like, and I don't think that's wrong to do. I think a game design, it's a DM's and a game designer's job to make it fun.
Right.
Even if it's not fully the thing, right? Like,
yeah, if you have like fully like invested character, like players and their characters in Dungeons and Dragons, and you're going along and, oh, there's like a comedy goblin fight. You're all level 15. The DM throws some goblins at you just for a little joke. And then like somehow a goblin rolls a natural 20 and like the damage would actually legitimately kill a character that the player has been with for 15 levels. And it's like, if it's like a deeply story driven role play based campaign, are you really going to throw out like that group investment in the development of this character because of a terrible dice roll? Some people will say yes.
I was going to say,
some people will say no. Usually the let the dice fall as they will campaigns, in my experience at least, are like more combat or dungeon trucking focused. I just used a phrase that nobody is going to understand except for my friends. Truck a dungeon.
That makes sense to me.
Oh, okay, good.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not thinking of it the right way, but to me, I was like, yeah, okay.
The real term is dungeon crawling, but as we refer to it, dungeon trucking.
I don't know. I was on board.
That's something for another day.
I was ready for it, so I don't know. Yeah, so I think in like what I was seeing, some of the Baldur's Gate stuff, they're saying like the designers of it should never have allowed save scumming at all. Like they basically should have designed the game in which, this is just one side of the argument, they should have designed the game so that it could not be done. But I think inherently the fact that they did it means that like it's fine, right? Like, kind of, I think, this is just one of those things where really it shouldn't matter. And people should just, like, when it does matter is probably things like tournaments and speed runs and things where you have to know, you have to have a baseline for what you can and can't do.
Yeah.
But if you're just playing a game that you bought with your own earned money or you got as a present from and it's just, you're just sitting in your house and you're having a good time, do whatever you want.
Yeah. Like I'm not going to say that I save scummed in Disco Elysium. I'm not going to say that everyone should do that. And I will say that I feel like game design kind of points towards, or at least tone of game kind of points towards not doing that, but then they also did not design the game to stop it at all. Right. So without talking to the designers, I actually will never know
we should get them on the
intention.
Podcast.
Yeah, hey, if you're one of the Disco Elysium designers,
I don't know if they'd come on after your episode. I don't know if they'd be super into that. Like, I don't want to get yelled at by this guy. So I think to players, do what you want. If you hate save scumming, don't do it. If you like it,
and the game allows it,
go forth.
Yeah.
If if you meet someone who has the opposite opinion of you, just say, wow, that's such a different thought than me, and then move on with your life.
We don't need to have bloodthirsty debates on this.
No, but
is TikTok getting bloodthirsty?
I don't think so. I haven't seen, but also I'm not really on video game TikTok that much.
Oh.
So basically what I saw was somebody talking about an article that was written that was the one that was like, they should never have designed Baldur's Gate to be able to save scum. And they were kind of talking about how basically what we said, where it's like, it's all how you want to play the game. And like everyone's play style is different. And it's okay to do what you want to do.
Also, having not played Baldur's Gate, isn't there parts where like you can roll a natural 1 and like you just like get killed?
I don't know. I would assume so, because it is like very much D&D. So
yeah, like
I would assume so.
Like, oh, there's a trap. Oh, you fumble
like,
untrapping it.
I almost think, and again, this might be because I was trained on The Sims, but I feel like saving before you do a big thing, whether that's a big roll that could result in you dying, or you're about to go into this big Bokoblin camp in Breath of the Link's White in the game,
Tears of the Kingdom,
in the game you play, or if you're just gonna see if the sim you're trying to woo will say yes to a marriage proposal after one day. You save before those things, and if that's save scumming, then I'm a scummer.
I would actually say that in the Tears of the Kingdom case, I don't think that is save scumming. That's just being smart, because like
well, it isn't like if like say you're trying to track deaths, right? Then like, okay, if you go backwards in time and you're safe, then like okay. Like I don't know. I think it still is kind of, but go ahead as to why it's different.
Oh, I was just gonna say, because like there's not really any randomness involved. Like the difference between trying a fight, getting to a point where you don't think that you'll win, and then loading and then trying again from another perspective. The difference between that and losing, getting a game over, and then respawning where you saved it anyways.
Right.
Like I wouldn't consider a game over and then starting from a save point. That's not save scumming.
Yeah, I think like to me it would be like if you used it as like you're in the fight, you're gonna lose, and so you reload. Yeah. That point. And then
but even then,
that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, in an action game like Link's Awakening, or wow, I'm doing it. Tears of the Kingdom, where there's not really like any random chance, where it's like your own skills result in you winning or losing.
Yeah.
I don't think that's really save scum.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. But still, I just think saving before doing something big is just smart gaming.
Yeah.
And then obviously there's other things to do. But that was the discussion today. We'd love to hear from you all what you think about save scumming. Is it something you do? Is it something you only do in certain cases or certain game types? Are there games out there that you wish allowed you to do this that don't?
Dark Souls. Well, that's also the same thing of like, what's the difference between game over and
I think you're right that's a big difference.
Yeah, there's not really any concept of save scumming. The Dark Souls, what it does is it constantly auto saves for you.
Okay, well that's not,
which stops you.
Well, it stops you from save scumming, but also like it almost save scumming itself.
Yeah, exactly. like you still get tons of game overs, but I don't think that there's anything that is random. Maybe item drops, but like also. Yeah, no, I don't think there's save scumming in Dark Souls.
I think that's a good distinction we've kind of talked through, is that to be truly save scumming, it has to be a random outcome that you're like guessing against or like saving against, versus just a regular kind of battle that is not random.
Yeah, there's probably at the end of the discussion here, I just realized save scumming. It's literally calling the action scum, like scumming. There's got to be a nicer way of putting this to match our like basically neutral.
Oh yeah, you're right.
/ amicable stance, like us calling it save scumming and saying it's new name. Fine.
What about save surfing?
Save surfing. Hold on. I'm just going to see if there is already like a well-known...
No, we did it. It's called save.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
No, I mean, I guess, yeah, you can look it up. But yeah, actually, again, I did not know that term until this week. I used to just call my friend on the phone, because we used to talk on our phones while we played Sims. And we would say, gotta save. That's all we would say. Got save before we do it.
I can't find a better name, but it did just make me think of the game that I think has the best thing to... it doesn't stop save scumming, I don't think, but Animal Crossing. The original Animal Crossing.
Okay.
If you did not... if you closed the game without actually
you told me
saving...
about this, yes.
Yep, the next time you loaded it, a mole would burst up out of the ground and yell at you.
Yeah.
And that's just great.
This is really funny to me because in the new game, it doesn't really punish you very much if you do that. Like, I've done it a couple times, and Isaac will, like, freak out if I do it. And I'm like, nothing happens. And you're like, but it used to.
Yeah. But, okay, yes, that's all there is to be said on save scumming. There's no more conversation to be had.
It's save surfing.
Save surfing. Sorry. Are you ready for the ultimate bit segment?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. What is that segment, by the way?
That segment is called the Rapid Fire Round, where we generate 3 random words. We have to come up with a game idea based on those 3 words, and we have to name the game all in 5 minutes. Isaac, are you ready with the timer?
I am. And in fact, I already started it.
Oh, boy. Profit, retiree, embarrassment.
Oh, my God. What? Okay. What? What are we... okay.
Profit, retiree, embarrassment.
All right.
All
right. Embarrassment is, I think, the odd duck out here.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Retiree makes it... Because, like, you can profit from embarrassment. You can debase yourself, humiliate yourself. You can be an actor.
I guess, like, retiree, I was like, either it's, like, a retirement party and you get, like, profit sharing, or it's, like, you're profiting in your retirement. Like, maybe it's, like, your retirement side hustle game.
That's what I was also thinking of.
Embarrassment, is the odd duck out. I'm like, well, what's that about?
Yeah, maybe you are a retiree who, due to the system at large, are not able to live out your retirement in peace. You have to do a side hustle, and that side hustle is clowning. And it is a game about clowning children's parties as an older person. I don't. There's got to be some aspect to the older person gameplay that we can fit in.
But I feel like, can we do that without being mean? I don't know. I feel like no. Like,
you're right. That would, yeah.
What if?
I feel
Wait.
Okay.
This might be mean. I don't know. I'm gonna try it.
I feel like anything involving, like,
Untitled Goose Game, but you're a retiree. And because you're an older person, you kind of can get away with more stuff in society. So you're just going around messing with people.
Okay.
And you're embarrassing them.
Okay. Where's the profit?
You're stealing their money.
Yes. I think, strictly speaking, profit has to be from, like, a business venture. Like, I don't think stealing money from someone is considered profit.
I'm gonna Google it.
I'm okay with us bending the definition a little if need be.
I think we can find a definition that fits an advantageous gain or return benefit.
Oh, okay. It is just that. Well,
general. That's one. Yeah, there's another definition that is specifically from a business, but it can be general as well.
All right. So, yes, you are an old person. I assume that there's a character creator. At the very least, you can be an old man or an old lady.
Yeah.
Or an old
An
old blank.
Yes.
You know what? Just character designer, so that you can make it look like however you want, and we won't tie that to any gender.
Yeah, I feel
identity.
like if you had just said character designer,
I know.
I
don't know why
away from it.
I should have, and now I know for the future. All right, and then you just go around and you torment people, and maybe what it is you are at retirement age, but you did not have a 401k or something. So, like, the goal of the game is to get enough to actually retire.
And I think you could also, like, besides just stealing money, you can also, like, steal objects that can have, like, a resale value
and,
or
like,
something.
bring them to the pawn shop.
Yeah, but I want it to be kind of like Untitled Goose Game in, like,
absolutely.
vibes and play.
Oh, game. Visually, it would be just Untitled Goose Game. We would use the retiree models from that.
What is it called?
We can't just call it Untitled Retiree Game.
No, I was thinking, like, PawPaw needs a new pair of shoes.
Okay, PawPaw needs a new pair of shoes. With 1 minute and 6 seconds on the clock. Like that is the genre of naming that I think that I like the most. Where I don't know the you don't see it often in video games where like the title itself just sets the story, like tells a story.
Uh-huh.
Like it's just a sentence.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can adequately express like what I like about that name specifically, but it really yes.
It just really hits it for you. It's
This is why I'm on this podcast, basically, is for the moments that we hit just perfection like that.
perfection.
Yeah.
Perfection. All right.
I'm ready with the second timer, and I actually just started it.
Okay. Piece, musical, deserve.
Peace as in...
Piece. So like a piece of...
not world peace.
Correct.
Okay. Deserve, not dessert?
Just deserve. Yeah. The word deserve.
Okay. Musical. A piece of a musical where you get what you deserve.
So I was thinking it could either be like someone who's composing a musical piece and who deserves to win something, or someone who deserves a part in a musical. And they have to audition a piece of music.
We could make it like a rhythm-based game.
Oh, yeah. It's like an audition rhythm-based game. Yes.
Yeah.
So you're singing. I put air quotes in that, but...
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So like, there's a lot of different ways that we can do this. You have like the Guitar Hero, like the track is coming up and you have press keys in time. Yes.
Okay. So like, it's like Rock Band, but the story mode of Rock Band, which I absolutely love.
Yep.
So basically you start as like a no-name actor.
Yeah.
It's your first audition on Broadway. You can have, because it's like Rock Band, it'll have like movement parts for the dancing, and then it'll also have like a singing part. Like the worst part of Rock Band's design, but also the funniest, is where you have to like follow the pitch on the microphone. So we could do that if we wanted, or we could just make it controller based like rhythm. But then when you land a role, then you just have to keep auditioning for bigger and bigger roles.
Okay.
And you can like and there's like a story. It's like, if you get knocked down, you have to go back to like the off Broadway shows, and like your posters get ripped down. There can be fun cutscenes.
Oh boy.
Anyway, I'm getting a little animated about this.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. How about instead of starting like on Broadway, like it starts with like a high school
like community
musical.
theater? Yeah.
No, you start with high school, then you go to community theater, and then you get to go to bigger and bigger until the finale is Cats.
And then you're just on Cat. Yeah, if you make it to Cats, you win the game.
Or wouldn't it be more appropriate to be Phantom?
Didn't Phantom just close, though?
Did Phantom finally close?
I think it did.
Oh, no.
Was it? Well, no, because Wicked's still up, I think. One of the big ones closed recently.
Okay.
I forget which one.
Shoot,
but
we're going to have to look that up.
I do think the title should be God, I Hope I Get It, which is a line from the chorus line about auditioning, but I don't know, might be too on the nose.
No, yeah, God, I Hope I Get It. I mean, falls into the same with 2 minutes and 28 seconds left. Like,
and also
it falls right into the exact category that I just said so much
and
about.
If you like musicals and video games, and you see a video game titled God, I Hope I Get It, you're gonna, that's a game for you. Like you like immediately, you're like, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You buy it instantaneously.
Now the copyright of that, I don't know, but we can just ignore that for now.
Can you copyright a single line?
You can. Well, you can trademark it. Taylor Swift has trademarked "Shake It Off," actually, among other things.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. No, but even in trademark, I think you could make a video game called Shake It Off, and because it doesn't cross with like how she's using it.
Yeah, it depends on how many different classes she trademarked. I was reading trademark law recently I honestly don't even remember why. You just get into a
What was it related to the fact that we had it on the podcast fairly recently, where we talked about video game trademark? Do you think maybe
I don't know, but research? But anyway, basically, whatever you register a class for, a class would be like clothes, music, so if it depends on how many classes she registered it for.
I would assume that you would have to have some example of it in that class in order to actually trademark.
Well, you can also have a good faith.
Okay.
Good faith, I'm going to do this, but you have to do it within 2 years of registering it.
Okay. So if Taylor Swift did trademark
a Shake It Off video game,
she has to create it in 2 years.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, but that's beside the point.
Yeah. All right. Last round, start.
So fast.
Yeah, well, I'm tired of playing around. It's rapid fire round, not count it down round.
Wow. I thought we were having fun.
We are. I'm having fun.
Award, quaint, comedy. I'm also having fun, just to be clear.
Award, quaint, comedy.
Yeah, it feels too close to the one we just did.
Yeah, do we want to generate?
No.
Okay.
The only
all
times
right.
I've ever regenerated is when one seemed like it was bad, and then the other one was it had repeated a word we literally just had.
Okay, so award, comedy,
Quaint.
quaint.
Polly Pocket.
What?
Well, quaint as like little, tiny. Polly Pocket game. Polly Pocket Comedy Club.
Okay. All right. Speaking of trademark, I don't think we can make a Polly Pocket. Well, that hasn't stopped us before.
Right, yeah. We're allowed to pitch whatever we
Yeah,
want.
that's
Because we're not
true.
making these games. So we say that
True.
in the intro, so we're safe.
Yeah. Okay, so Polly Pocket to cover the quaint.
I mean, it doesn't have to be Polly Pocket. It just has to look like Polly Pocket.
Okay, like Link's Awakening.
Well, exactly. The Switch reboot of Link's Awakening, yes. It looks identical to Polly Pocket.
Okay, so you are tiny little plastic looking people.
Yeah.
How do we get comedy? Is it just a funny game? Like it has funny writing, like the Ghost game that you played?
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's just like silly, goofy game.
Yeah, silly, goofy stuff going on. Okay.
And maybe it's also an Animal Crossing like, so you have to come up with you get awards for your cute little town.
Okay. I want to say that I think...
It's already a game.
Well, I think so, yeah. And specifically, like, I think that a lot of... Or maybe not a lot, but I feel like I've seen games that hit, like, that Polly Pocket
Polyapothecary.
aesthetic with the Animal Crossing gameplay. I feel like
What
there's
game?
such a natural...
Because I'll play it.
I have to look it up, but
Okay, we'll
I've
look it up
seen
after.
a ton.
Because we have to
of different
we only
games.
have so much time, so
So that's the only reason I'm saying not an Animal Crossing like, but I don't know what else it
yeah,
could
because
be.
so my other idea was that it's like a comedy club, like you run a comedy club. What if it?
But what's the gameplay for that look
Okay,
like?
what if it was like a coffee talk, but you're like the bartender at a comedy club,
Okay.
and in a quaint little town,
Okay.
and everyone's coming to town because of the big comedy award.
Okay.
And so you're just making people drinks, and they tell you jokes, and you learn the lore of the comedy club
Okay.
in small town.
A talk 'em up. No, but see, I know that you just like and at it and grimaced and stuff. But like I'm thinking of it's just like very Lynchian. It's like Twin Peaks
ooh,
vibes.
okay, yes,
So
yes,
everyone
yes.
is like
super weird,
but
like
yeah.
subtle. There's like cool music. It's like
Yeah.
the Pacific Northwest. Okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
What do we call it?
I mean, in the tradition of Twin Peaks, I do feel like it should be like the name of a town.
Okay, we have to name it.
But it needs to be like an intriguing town name.
Fog Meadows.
Or we name it after the comedy club itself.
Chuckle Bucket Laughs of
Chuckle Bucket Comedy Club. That's what the game is called.
All right, Chuckle Bucket.
And with 1 minute and 19 seconds left, Chuckle Bucket Comedy Club.
You know where Chuckle Bucket came from?
Where did it come from?
Well, so I don't know if that's a name, but Chum Bucket from SpongeBob. And I just turned it into Chuckle Bucket. Like I was picturing that in my head.
Okay, so here's a really funny thing.
Okay.
I just Googled it. Family Guy wiki.
Wait, really?
Chuckle Bucket Comedy Club. Chuckle Bucket Comedy Club is from Family Guy.
But I've never seen Family Guy one time. I literally pictured the Chum Bucket from SpongeBob and said, what if it was the Chuckle Bucket? That's what I did.
And it's from 2 specific episodes, I guess. It only shows up in 2 episodes.
I guess we can't call it the Chuckle Bucket, but...
No, we can. We just did.
Okay.
I stopped the timer, so we can't come up with something else. But I had a feeling that there would be a real Chuckle Bucket, but it turns out that it's not real, but it is in Family Guy.
That's wild. That's wild.
Because, like, Laugh Factory...
Right.
Chuckle Bucket seems like a natural evolution.
I feel like the bucket doesn't, though. Like Chuckle Creator, Chuckle Master, Chuckle Mind. Anyway.
It could just be Chuckle Club, but no.
No.
The Chuckle Club.
Anyway.
Yeah, we're done.
We're done. I'm done. That's the end of our show. We appreciate you sticking around. And we do have things that you can follow us on. You can follow us at twitch.tv/makethatgame. We're going to stream Angry Birds. I think we were actually supposed to do it today.
Did we set an actual time?
We did. I think I said on the podcast last week, I was like, maybe we'll try next Saturday because we don't have anything planned. I forgot 100% until this moment.
Oh, boy.
So, just follow us on twitch.tv/makethatgame.
It will happen.
Turn notifications on, and it'll happen.
Yeah, we bought capture cards, and
we don't even need it to stream Angry Birds.
That's true. We don't need it for most things, but like we invested in this, so it's got to be real. We do want to stream,
so just like keep an eye out there, and we'll post about it when we do it. I'm hoping to do it before the end of September. That's my internal
busy
goal.
People is the problem.
We are. The fall becomes very busy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you can find us there. You can also send us an email, makethatgamepodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook at MakeThatGamePod. And if you heard a game idea today that you think is just so awesome that it has to exist and it doesn't have any copyrighted or trademarked material in it, we encourage you to get out there and make that game.